In this video, I'm going to show you how you can make a simple application server in Koa. That's an application framework built for node.js. And I've gone ahead and I've created a simple node.js application. I haven't installed any package dependencies yet, so let's start by depending on Koa. Okay, and let's make a very simple Koa application. So first thing we'll do is we will require the Koa app. We will create a new application. And with Koa, every request that comes into the server is processed through a set of what Koa calls middleware, or request handlers. And so for our very simple application, we'll have a single handler that always responds with exactly the same response, hello world. So we say app and use a middleware, and our middleware is going to take the usual context, and context body is hello world. Now, the context parameter is something that Koa provides to all middleware so that you can get a copy of the incoming request or the outgoing response, and there's some helpers on the context to easily set outgoing responses. So here we've set the body, but we could equally set the status code to like this. But in our case, 200 was the default, so it would have worked without. So now we have a very simple Koa application. For every single request that comes in, it sets the body to hello world and the status code to 200. And now let's make a simple HTTP server that's listening for requests. App, listen, and we'll listen on port 3000. And then let's write out when the application starts listening, we will get called in this function, and we can say console log server listening on port 3000. Okay, and then let's give it a shot. Node server JS. Okay, let's test it out. And it says hello world. Now the weird thing about this, unlike most HTTP servers, is if I say hello, oops, it still says hello. If I say goodbye, it still says hello. And that's because we've set up a middleware that always responds with exactly the same behavior no matter what the request. That's just not very practical for a Node application or for any application server. So let's use another dependency called a koa router that will allow us to specify different behavior depending on the request we get. So let's stop our server and let's install another dependency, koa router save. Now let's do a little bit of rewriting. Koa router introduces the concept of routes instead of just an application. So first thing we'll do is we'll import the koa router. And then we'll make a new router. Like that. Now, instead of adding our middleware directly to the app, let's add it to the router. And instead of on every single request with a use, let's just do get requests, which are the typical HTTP requests a browser would make. And instead of responding to every single thing, let's just do hello. And just to make this interesting, let's respond here with goodbye. Now we have two routes on our router, one for hello, one for goodbye. And what we need to do now is tell the app to use our router. And we can do that by saying app use router routes. So in this case, koa router is exposing a middleware through the routes function that koa is using as its middleware. And so you can think about koa router providing all the logic for parsing the incoming request and delegating to the correct router based on the quote request context, either the URL or the method, or maybe even query parameters. So let's give this new server a shot. Now if we go to goodbye, we see it says goodbye. And if we say hello, it says hello. And even better, if we say nothing, it says not found. And that's because we no longer have a router or middleware that will listen to all requests, but just one for hello and goodbye. And with these two simple concepts, we can build up a server that responds to a lot of different types of requests.